Yo, I gotta keep it a buck with you all. I think Bungie might have my crib wired or something like that. And you probably are like, Craig, what are you talking about? I just made a video maybe like a day or two ago. I can't remember, my days are running together. But I made a video just talking about how Bungie should come out on some type of basis and let us know what they are thinking, right? Instead of them being reactive to nerf everything, to nerf this, to nerf that, so on and so forth, what they should do is let us know like what is on the horizon or what they're considering so that they can take control and they can be proactive when it comes to creating the meta versus being more so reactive, right? And what do you know? I see from the Marathon development team that they do just that, at least kinda, right? So the dev team said, as we get into season 1, we've been monitoring your feedback around the current sandbox closely. We wanted to talk a little about a few of the topics we see frequently from the community and some updates we're planning. Too many grenades is the first topic. A big topic in the community right now is that it's not a good experience to open up a fight only to be barraged with dozens of grenades. We're looking to push some changes to stock counts and stack sizes before the end of the season. We're keeping an eye on the overall usage of equipment and will make additional changes as necessary. They talked about the Gold Ares Railgun. They said the Ares Railgun with the Prestige mod being able to one-shot runners with purple or gold shields is unintentional, and we'll be issuing a fix in a future update. We want it to feel strong and fun to use without it being so effective. It becomes overly frustrating to play against. And then the waster damage nerf. We talked about this in a prior video. The waster damage nerf was a temporary nerf, and we just released a more nuanced set of changes earlier today in 1.0.6.2. While we aren't looking to change the two-shot breakpoints, the waster indeed took a bigger hit than we were intending with the temporary nerf, and we intend for this change to put it in a better place. It should have similar effectiveness against AI as before the nerf, as well have less damage fallout at range. Go try it out and let us know what you think. We appreciate everyone's input. Please keep it coming. So again, this is a little bit in the middle of what I talked about in my prior video. So as I was saying in my prior video, I was talking about Bungie needing to be more proactive, setting the meta and putting things out there based off of what they're seeing and what their data is showing, right? Bungie collects data on everything. How much you breathe into the mic, how many steps you take per minute in the raid. Honestly, I have no idea how in-depth their data collection is, but I can safely assume that it is extensive, right? Like very, very extensive. And even if it wasn't extensive, I believe that they track enough to know like what are most runners being eliminated by, you know, what is the TTK on each respective map, so on and so forth. They have enough information they can acquire. So what I was saying was I would like for Bungie to give us, and it doesn't have to be a weekly update. It may be bi-weekly, it may be monthly, right? But almost like how Bungie did with TWABs, right? This week at Bungie, when it came to Destiny, and they evolved it into Twids this week in Destiny because Marathon came out. Just doing something like that to let us know what they're thinking, what's going on, right? So something like this tweet, but a bit more in depth, right? So what I mean by a bit more in depth is how they heard us loud and clear on the whole grenade fiasco, right? You know, they let us know about the Ares Railgun. They let us know their thoughts with the waster damage nerf. And I call this as well. Whenever Bungie nerfs something, they nerf it to the extreme. If it was far left, they make it far right and then usually course correct. And they did that with the waster. Like, hey, look, I'm telling y'all, man, I know Bungie, man. I know them. But anyways, as I was saying though, like, I would like for this to be, and I'll make up something here, like if this was a list of 6 to 8 things, right? They talked about these 3 things right here, and then the 4th thing is like, we've realized on Outpost that the person that gets hit with the bully SMG first, their team loses 78% of the time, and that is too unbalanced. So we are brainstorming ways to bring that more in alignment with what we want, and we want that number to be closer to 40%. So we're working on fine-tuning the map or fine-tuning the bully so that we get it closer to that number of 40%. We want it at 40% because it makes things cleaner in the ecosystem, and it makes for more of a robust meta versus everybody just running the bully, right? I made all that up top of mind. But if Bungie, like if that was their philosophy, if that was their way of thinking, let us know, right? Because when they put it out there, the community could come out and say, yeah, with all due respect, I know that's what your data is saying, but we cool with it. Like, and if the consensus is we cool with it, right? Whether if they post it on Twitter and you see most of the comments being like, hey, no, I'm fine with that, right? Or if they post it on Reddit, if they post it in Discord, or if they do like an in-game survey, right? On a scale from 1 to 5, how frustrated are you with the bully SMG on Outpost? 1 being not frustrated at all, 5 being maximum frustrated. And if they see the data overwhelmingly says not frustrated at all, they're like, oh, cool, we ain't even got to worry about that, right? We were worried about this number being at 78% and we wanted to get it down to 40%, but you know what? Players don't really care too much about it. We're good, right? On to the next thing. So again, and like I mentioned, that bully SMG thing, that entire situation was totally made up, right? Don't go run into Reddit with that info because I just made that up, right? But I digress there. If Bungie could give us a little bit more there, give us a little bit more meat on the potato, again, that level of communication is clear, is transparent, and like we know, just like in everything in life, whether if it's with your spouse, with your best friend, with your teacher, with your coach, with your mentor, communication is key. And communication isn't just, hey, how are you doing? Oh, I'm fine. Meanwhile, you're not fine and you're frustrated because that individual did something to you that hurt your feelings. If you don't communicate that with that individual, they may not even know they did something that hurt your feelings, right? So again, oversharing in communication is always going to be better than undersharing. There are some caveats to that. You don't want to overshare certain things, right? Like I think this whole matchmaking thing, like a great example is like Arc Raiders talking about the aggression-based matchmaking type of thing, like that being a thing they take into account and or consideration when it comes to putting you in certain lobbies. Oh my gosh, I would have never told anybody our matchmaking system. Never, ever, 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 because you're going to have people on one side of the aisle that are like, this is great. You're going to have people on the other side of the aisle that say, this is stupid. This is negatively impacted my experience and everything. And their feelings may be completely unwarranted, right? It may be completely like anecdotal in nature, but hey, look, you can't tell them anything, right? Because that's what it is. I knew something was off. I knew there had to be something going on because, man, I would keep shooting at somebody and they keep putting me in these crazy aggressive lobbies, man. And, and that's where the conspiracies start to spiral or start to like become, or what's the expression? That's when conspiracies start to get legs. That's the expression. I couldn't retrieve it, but you all know what I'm saying here, right? So again, like when it comes to balancing and metas and things that players need to know, share that with us, right? But if we're talking matchmaking systems, or now if it's a bug or an issue because there was a bug in the matchmaking system, then you could let us know that, right? Hey guys, just want to let you all know there was a matchmaking bug that we are getting rectified. When the patch drops next week, you'll be good to go, right? Cool, let us know that, but you don't have to let us know all the intricacies when it comes to the matchmaking, because it's almost like when you go see a magician perform, you don't want the magician to show you their sleight of hand, right? You don't want them to show you how they're doing the stuff. It's like the allure comes from the magician doing the stuff and you just take it at face value, right? Again, not with everything. I don't know if that analogy even fits in this situation, but I don't know. I'm gonna shut up though. I'm gonna shut up and I'm gonna hand the mic over to you all. What do you all think about this? What do you all think about Bungie's communication currently? Do you all agree with me that they can give us a little bit more meat on the bone and just kind of let us know what they're thinking? Or are you all good with where it is right now and just happy that they're talking in general? Let me know in the comments at your earliest convenience. I would appreciate it so much. I'll do my best to get back to all the comments. I've been getting a ton of them lately, which I really appreciate. I love the communication between you and I. It feels like a general conversation, or an actual genuine conversation is what I meant to say. And I love it. I'll heart, I'll do stuff like that. May not be able to reply to everyone, but again, know that I read them all. So I appreciate the support. I love you all. Thank you all so much for coming and watching, and I will catch you all in the next one.